Hi children, how are you? Welcome to our English class. I am Prasanna Lakshmi, working as English CRT at KZBV Chapadu, Kadapa district. Today's topic is the first unit, reading B, the duck and the kangaroo poem. The duck and the kangaroo is a different combination. The first one is bird, the other one is animal. Usually, where do we find ducks? We find ducks at the ponds and lakes. But we have never seen kangaroos because kangaroos are not found in India. Mostly they are found in Australia. Now, let us see what is the relation between them in the poem Duck and the Kangaroo. Okay, children? Let us know about the poet. The Duck and the Kangaroo poem was written by Edward Lear. He was a British artist, illustrator, author, and poet, renowned today primarily for his literary nonsense in poetry and prose. In his childhood, he suffered from ill health. After a long decline in health, he died of heart disease. His principal areas of work as an artist were threefold. As a draftsman employed to illustrate birds and animals, making colored drawings during his journeys. As an author, Lear is popularly known for his popular nonsense works rather than as a travel writer. These show a great ability to use with reliance the sound of real and invented English words. The poem The Duck and the Kangaroo is a poem with a touch of light humor. Introduction of the poem. The Duck and the Kangaroo is a humorous poem. This poem does not make any sense, but gives a great of reading the language in poetry. This is a conversation between a good duck and a friendly kangaroo. The duck requests the kangaroo to give him a ride on his back. The kangaroo is willing that he requires some reflections. The duck tells him everything frankly, and then they enjoy a ride around the world 3 times. Now let us recite the poem The Duck and the Kangaroo. Okay, children? The Duck and the Kangaroo poem has 5 stanzas. Let us recite the poem. Okay, start. Said the duck to the kangaroo, "Good gracious, how you hop over the fields and the water too, as if you never would stop. My life is a bore in this nasty pond, and I long to go out in the world beyond. I wish I could hop like you." Said the duck to the kangaroo, "Please give me a ride on your back." Said the duck to the kangaroo, "I would sit quite still and say nothing but quack the whole of the long day through, and we would go to the Dee and the Jelly-Bolly, over the land and over the sea. Please take me a ride, oh do," said the duck to the kangaroo. Said the kangaroo to the duck, "This requires some little reflection. Perhaps on the whole it might bring me luck. And there seems but one objection, which is, if you'll let me speak so bold, your feet are unpleasantly wet and cold, and would probably give me the rheumatiz," said the kangaroo. Said the duck, "As I sat on the rocks, I have thought over that completely, and I bought 4 pairs of worsted socks, which fit my web feet neatly. And to keep out the cold, I have bought a cloak. And every day a cigar I'll smoke. All to follow my own dear true love of a kangaroo. Said the kangaroo, I'm ready. All in the moonlight pale, but to balance me well, dear duck, sit steady, and quite at the end of my tail. So away they went with a hop and a bound, and they hopped the whole world 3 times round. And who so happy, oh who, as the duck and the kangaroo. Now let us see some synonyms to the unknown words from the poem. Long. Here long mean want or miss very much. Hop. Hop mean moving, move by jumping. Ride. Ride mean a short journey. The Dee and the Jelly Bolly. Wonderful places imagined by the poet. Reflection. Reflection mean thought, careful thought or careful thought. Bold. Here bold mean frank. Rheumatism. Rheumatism means a disease that makes the muscles and joints painful. Worsted socks. Worsted socks mean woolen socks. Web feet. Web feet mean feet that have toes connected by membrane. Cloak. Here cloak mean a coat that protects from cold. Next, let us see the poem The Duck and the Kangaroo. The Duck and the Kangaroo. We will know about we will know what was the duck's desire and what happened at the end. Said the duck to the kangaroo, good gracious, how you hop over the fields and the water too, as if you never would stop. My life is a bore in this nasty pond, and I long to go out in the world beyond. I wish I could hop like you, said the duck to the kangaroo. The duck praises the kangaroo's hopping or jumping ability. It expressed that kangaroo could hop continuously over the fields and water bodies. And the duck felt unhappy for living in an unpleasant pond. Here, nasty mean unpleasant or bad. The duck felt unhappy for living in an unpleasant pond. It felt the pond was unpleasant or bad. So the duck wanted to see the world beyond the limits of the pond. It wishes that it could also hop like the kangaroo. Next, second stanza. Please give me a ride on your back, said the duck to the kangaroo. I would sit quite still and say nothing but quack the whole of the long day through. And we would go to the Dee and the Jelly Bolly, over the land and over the sea. Please take me a ride, said the duck to the kangaroo. In this stanza, the duck requested the kangaroo to give it a ride on its back. And also the duck promised the kangaroo that it would sit quietly and just say quack quack all the day. Quack quack means the sound made by the duck. And the duck wanted to go around the Dee and the Jelly Bolly. The Dee and the Jelly Bolly were imaginary places which are not anywhere on the earth, which were imaginary, the poet imagined the which were wonderful places. So the duck wanted to go the D and the jelly bowling. Again, the duck requested the kangaroo to give it a ride over the land and over the sea. Third stanza, said the kangaroo to the duck, this requires some little reflection. Perhaps on the whole it might bring me luck, and there seems but one objection, which is if you let me speak so bold, your feet are unpleasantly wet and cold, and would probably give me the rheumatism, said the kangaroo. Said the kangaroo to the duck. In this stanza, the kangaroo replied to the duck. Here, reflection means thought. The kangaroo replied that he had to think over it. He had to think about the to give ride on its back to the duck. The idea could be good for him, but he had an objection. What was the objection? The objection was the duck's web feet. Web feet mean feet that have toes connected by membrane, like this. We can see in the picture the duck's web feet. The objection was the duck's wet and cold feet could give it rheumatism. Rheumatism means a disease that makes the muscles and joints painful. So the kangaroo says his objection. Next stanza. Said the duck, as I sat on the rocks, I have thought over that completely, and I bought 4 pairs of worsted socks, which fit my web feet neatly, and to keep out the cold, I have bought a cloak, and every day a cigar I'll smoke, all to follow my own dear true love of a kangaroo. The duck said that as it sat on the rocks during the day, it had thought over it. It had thought over it. It had thought about the objection of the kangaroo. And in order to avoid the cold, the duck had bought 4 pairs of worsted socks. Worsted socks mean woolen socks, which fitted its web-shaped feet well. In order to keep warm, it would wear a cloak. Cloak means a coat that protects from cold. In order to keep warm, it would wear a coat, and also it smoked a cigar every day. The duck would do all this to protect the kangaroo, as it was a beloved one. Next stanza. Last one. Said the kangaroo, I am ready, all in the moonlight pale, but to balance me well, dear duck, sit steady and quite at the end of my tail. So away they went with a hop and a bound, and they hopped the whole world 3 times round. And who so happy, oh who, as the duck and the kangaroo. The kangaroo was satisfied with the duck's response and got ready for the ride. At night, when the sky was filled with the pale light of the moon, they started their trip with a hop. The kangaroo asked the duck to sit quietly at the end of its tail, and they travelled around the world 3 times. Both of them enjoyed each other's company. The duck was very much elated for going beyond its nasty pond. The kangaroo was also happy for fulfilling a wish of its dearest friend. So the duck fulfilled its desire in this way. Okay, children? Now let us see once again the poem briefly. In the first stanza, the duck praised the young jumping ability of the kangaroo, and it expressed it felt unhappy for living in an unpleasant pond. In the second stanza, the duck requested the kangaroo to give it a ride on its back. In the third stanza, the kangaroo expressed his objection to take a ride the duck on its back. Next, fourth stanza. In the fourth stanza, the duck had thought about the taking of precautions to protect the kangaroo when they were going to ride. In the fifth stanza, kangaroo agreed to give a ride to the duck on its back, and they travelled around the world 3 times with hopping and bounding. Next, what is the theme of the poem? The theme of the poem gives us a message that we can get things if we are polite in our behavior. We should pay attention towards the feeling of others. Okay, children, have you understood the poem? Now let us see some comprehension questions and answers. First question. Who is the poet of the poem The Duck and the Kangaroo? Answer. The poet of the poem The Duck and the Kangaroo is Edward Lear. Second question. What is the duck's desire? Answer. The duck's desire is to hop like the kangaroo. Third question. What is described as nasty in the poem? In the poem? Answer. The pond is described as nasty in the poem. Fourth question. What promise does the duck make? Answer. The duck promised to sit quite still on kangaroo's back. Fifth question. What did the kangaroo say to the duck? Answer. The kangaroo said to the duck that he needs some time to consider her proposal. Okay, children, poem is completed. Next, we'll see another topic. Now let us discuss the another topic, tenses. What is tense? The tense of a verb shows the time of an action. The tense of a verb shows the time of an action. ఒక పని ఎప్పుడు జరిగినది అని సూచించే రూపాన్ని టెన్స్ అని అంటాం. There are three main tenses in English. They are present tense, past tense, future tense. These main tenses have 4 forms each. We will know about the verb and auxiliary verbs before we are going to discuss about the tenses. Okay? These are the verb forms. What is verb? Verb is a word is used to describe an action or state. It is a verb. Here we see V1 present tense form, present form of the verb, V2 past form of the verb, V3 past participle form of the verb. Next, auxiliary verb. Auxiliary verbs. Auxiliary verb help the main verb to describe action. That action happened in the past or is happening in the present or will happen in the future. Auxiliary verb helps to describe main verb, so it is called as helping verb also. Auxiliary verbs are two types: primary auxiliaries, modal auxiliaries. These are the primary auxiliaries. These are the modal auxiliaries. In the primary auxiliaries, there are be forms, do forms, and have forms. Each main tense has 4 forms. We know each main tense has 4 forms. They are in the present tense, simple present tense, present continuous tense, present perfect tense, present perfect continuous tense. In the past tense, simple past tense, past continuous tense, past perfect tense, past perfect continuous tense. In the future tense, simple future tense, future continuous tense, future perfect tense, future perfect continuous tense. In the present tense, first one is simple present tense. Simple present tense is used to denote a regular or habitual action. మనము అలవాటుగా రెగ్యులర్గా కొన్ని పనులు చేస్తూ ఉంటాము. అలా పదే పదే అలవాటుగా చేయే పనులను సింపుల్ ప్రెజెంట్ టెన్స్లో తెలియజేయగలను. ఇన్ ద సింపుల్ ప్రెజెంట్ టెన్స్ ఫస్ట్ verb form is V1 or root verb. The first form of the verb is called root verb. Example: go, see, come, write, meet, etc. When the subject of the sentences in third person singular number he, she, it, s, es or ies is added to the verb. సింపుల్ ప్రజెంట్ టెన్స్లోనే సెంటెన్సెస్లో సబ్జెక్ట్ థర్డ్ పర్సన్ అయి సింగులర్ అయి ఉంటే వెర్బ్కి ఎస్ కానీ ఈఎస్ కానీ ఐఈఎస్ కానీ యాడ్ చేసి సెంటెన్స్ రాయాల్సి ఉంటుంది. Expressions of time of simple present tense. Every morning, every evening, every day, every week, every month, every year, always, often, usually, regularly, daily, generally. Now we see here persons. First person, I, we are the first persons. You is the second person. He, she, it, they are the third persons. In the first person, I is singular. We is plural. You is used to both singular and plural. He, she, it are singulars. They is plural. Here we have some examples. Here with blanks, we have to write a correct form of the verb. Correct form of the verb in the blanks. We have to write the correct form of the verb in the blanks using the given verb form above. Given verb form. This is the given verb form. Using this, we have to write answer here. First one, I is the first person singular. I attend the classes regularly. Here, I is first person. So, we need not to use S to the verb. I attend the classes regularly. We also first person. So, need not use S to the practice. We practice cricket every day. My father is third person. My father in pronouns he. My father third person. So we should add to es to the verb. We should add es to the verb. My father goes for a walk every morning. My father goes for a walk every morning. She also third person and singular. So we should add s to the celebrate. She celebrates her birthday every year. She celebrates her birthday every year. They is plural. So we need not to add s to the pay in the third person plural. We need to add only third person singulars as subject. Third person singulars as subject in the sentences. They pay house rent every month. Okay. Next, present continuous tense. Present continuous tense is used to denote the action going on continuously at present moment. మనము ఇప్పుడు మాట్లాడుతున్న సమయంలో ఒక పని జరుగుతున్నది అని తెలియజేయడానికి ప్రజెంట్ కంటిన్యూస్ టెన్స్ని యూజ్ చేస్తాం. ఇన్ ద ప్రజెంట్ కంటిన్యూస్ టెన్స్ వెర్బ్ ఫామ్ ఈస్ యామ్, ఈస్, ఆర్, యామ్, ఆర్, ఈస్, ఆర్ ప్లస్ V1 ప్లస్ ing form. Am, is, are called as present tense V forms. Am, is, are called present tense V forms. Here also some examples. Expressions of time of present continuous tense. Now, at present, at this moment. Let us see examples. First one, I for am. I, V1 plus ing. Read is V1. Reading. I am reading a book now. My brother is my brother for is. My brother is work plus V1 plus ing. Work plus ing. Working. My brother is working in this factory at present. Third one. It. It for is. It is. It is. Rain plus ing. It is raining here now. Don't disturb him. He is taking rest. Don't disturb him. He is taking rest. They is plural. They are v1 plus ing writing. They are writing a test now. Next, present perfect tense. Present perfect tense is used to denote the action done just now. Present perfect tense is used to denote the action done just now. ఇప్పుడే పూర్తి చేసిన ఒక పనిని ప్రజెంట్ పర్ఫెక్ట్ టెన్స్లో చెప్పగలను. ఇన్ ద ప్రజెంట్ పర్ఫెక్ట్ టెన్స్ వెర్బ్ ఫామ్ ఈజ్ హ్యావ్ ఆర్ హ్యాజ్. ఇన్ ద ప్రజెంట్ పర్ఫెక్ట్ టెన్స్ వెర్బ్ ఫామ్ ఈజ్ హ్యావ్ ఆర్ హ్యాజ్ ప్లస్ v3. v3 mean past participle. Have and has are called present perfect forms. Have and has are called present perfect forms. Here we have some examples. Look at the examples. I for have. v3 form for the take, taken. v3 form for the take, taken. I have with taken. I have taken coffee just now. We have finished the work just now. v3 form for finished. We have finished the work just now. He has gone out just now. She has just washed the clothes. She has just washed the clothes. The train has left the station just now. The train has left the station just now. Next, present perfect continuous tense. Present perfect continuous tense. Present perfect continuous tense is used to denote the action started at a particular time in the past and is still going on at present. Present perfect continuous tense is used to denote the action started at a particular time in the past and is still going on at present. గతంలో ఒక సమయంలో ఒక పనిని ప్రారంభించి ఇంకా ఆ పనిని కంటిన్యూ చేస్తూ ఉన్నాము అని చెప్పడానికి, ఒక పనిని స్టార్ట్ చేసి గతంలో ఇంకా ఆ పని కంటిన్యూ అవుతూ ఉంది అని చెప్పడానికి ప్రజెంట్ పర్ఫెక్ట్ కంటిన్యూస్ టెన్స్ ఉపయోగించి వ్రాయగలను. హియర్ ఆర్ సమ్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్స్ ఆల్సో ఫర్ ప్రజెంట్ పర్ఫెక్ట్ కంటిన్యూస్ టెన్స్. లెట్ us see. I for have been. I for have been. Doing. I have been doing homework for 1 hour. I have been doing homework for 1 hour. We have been staying. We have been staying here for 2 months. He has been working in this factory since 2008. He has been working in this factory since 2008. It has been raining. It has been raining here for 2 days. I have been waiting here for him since 5 p.m. I have been waiting here for him since 5 p.m. She has been studying in this school since 2015. She has been studying in this school since 2015. Here we have used for in some sentences. We have used for in some sentences and since in the other sentences. Why? Because we have to mention a period of time. In the sentence. We should use for period of time. We have to mention a period of time. We should use for, and we have to mention a particular time or point of time. We have to mention point of time in the sentence. We should use since. Here for 1 hour. There is no point of time, particular time. For 2 months. This is here mentioned a particular time since 2008. Here also point of time. Here also we have seen point of time. Simple past tense. Simple past tense is used to denote the action done at a particular time in the past. గతంలో ఒక పర్టికులర్ టైం నందు మనం కంప్లీట్ చేసిన పనిని తెలియజేయడానికి సింపుల్ పాస్ట్ టెన్స్ని యూజ్ చేస్తాం. verb form V2 second form of the verb. Expressions of time: yesterday, last week, last month, last year, last time, ago. Here are some examples. I V2 form for write. I wrote a letter to her yesterday. We bought a TV set last week. She celebrated her 21st birthday last month. We visited Agra last summer. They came to our house 2 days ago. Next, past continuous tense. Past continuous tense is used to denote the action going on continuously at some time in the past. గతంలో కొంతకాలం కంటిన్యూస్గా చేస్తూ ఉండిన ఒక పనిని సూచించుటకు పాస్ట్ కంటిన్యూస్ టెన్స్ను ఉపయోగిస్తాం. ఈ పని ప్రస్తుతం కంటిన్యూ కాదు, గతంలో కంటిన్యూస్గా జరుగుతూ ఉంది. Verb form is was or were plus V1 plus ing form. Was and were are called as past tense B forms. Here are some examples. When I went out, it was raining. When I went out, it was raining. While we were watching TV, the lights went off. When he came in, she was cooking. They were playing cricket when we reached the ground. When we were eating food, the telephone rang. She was reading a book when I called her. Past perfect tense. Past perfect tense is used to denote the past action done before another past action. గతంలో మనము పూర్తి చేసిన 2 పనులలో ముందుగా చేసిన పనిని తెలియజేయడానికి పాస్ట్ పర్ఫెక్ట్ టెన్స్ని యూజ్ చేస్తాం. తర్వాత చేసిన పనిని తెలియజేయడానికి సింపుల్ పాస్ట్ టెన్స్ని యూజ్ చేస్తాం. We have this tense in the textual grammar in this unit. The snake and the mirror, the story is also in the past perfect tense. In this tense, verb form is had plus V3 past participle. Here are some examples we can see. I had V3 form, took, taken. I had taken coffee before I came to the class. In this sentence, the earlier action is had taken coffee. Earlier action is had taken coffee. It is the past perfect tense. This is the simple past tense. I had taken coffee before I came to the class. We had made the arrangements before the guest arrived. She had known the news before I told her. She wrote this book after she had read many books. He went home after he had finished the work. He posted the letter after he had checked the address. Past perfect continuous tense. Past perfect continuous tense is used to denote the action started at some time in the past and going on continuously till a certain time in the past. గతంలో ఒక సమయం నందు ప్రారంభమై కొంత సమయం వరకు కొంతకాలం వరకు కంటిన్యూస్గా చేస్తూ ఉండిన ఒక పనిని సూచించుటకు పాస్ట్ పర్ఫెక్ట్ కంటిన్యూస్ టెన్స్ను యూజ్ చేస్తాం. Here verb form is had plus been plus v1 plus ing form. Had plus been plus v1 plus ing form. Here also some examples. Let us see. By the time I went there last night. By the time I went there last night, he had been reading the lessons for 1 hour. He had been reading the lessons for 1 hour. Next, by the time the train arrived, we had been waiting for half an hour. By the time the train arrived, we had been waiting for half an hour. Before I came here, I had been doing my homework for 2 hours. Before the guest came to my house yesterday, my mother had been cooking for 1 hour. Simple future tense. Simple future tense is used to denote the action takes place at a particular time in future. మనం ఫ్యూచర్లో ఒక పనిని చేస్తాము అని తెలియజేయడానికి సింపుల్ ఫ్యూచర్ టెన్స్ని యూజ్ చేయవలను. ఇన్ దిస్ టెన్స్ వెర్బ్ ఫామ్ ఈజ్ షల్ ఆర్ విల్ ప్లస్ v1. షల్ ఆర్ విల్ ఆర్ ప్లస్ v1. షల్ విల్ ఆర్ కాల్డ్ ఫ్యూచర్ ఫార్మ్స్. Expressions of time: tomorrow, next week, next month, next year, next time. Here are examples. First one, I shall meet you tomorrow. V1, meet, I shall meet you tomorrow. We shall discuss this matter next Sunday. He will join college next June. She will attend the party tomorrow. Next, future continuous tense. Future continuous tense is used to denote the action going on continuously at some time in future. మనము ఫ్యూచర్లో ఒక టైంలో ఒక పనిని కంటిన్యూస్గా చేస్తూ ఉంటాము అని తెలియజేయడానికి ఫ్యూచర్ కంటిన్యూస్ టెన్స్ను ఉపయోగించాలను. Here verb form is shall or will plus be plus v1 plus ing. Shall be v1 plus ing. Here are some examples. I shall be wait plus waiting. I shall be waiting for you at this time tomorrow. We shall be writing examinations next month. She will be studying in this college hereafter. They will be living in this town hereafter. I shall be staying in the hostel next year. They will be They will be playing chess at this time. Future perfect tense. Future perfect tense is used to denote the action done by a certain time in future. ఫ్యూచర్లో ఒక ఖచ్చితమైన సమయం లోపల ఒక పనిని కంప్లీట్ చేస్తాము అని తెలియజేయడానికి ఫ్యూచర్ పర్ఫెక్ట్ టెన్స్ని యూజ్ చేస్తాం. ఇన్ ద ఫ్యూచర్ పర్ఫెక్ట్ టెన్స్ వెర్బ్ ఫార్మ్ ఈస్ షెల్ ఆర్ విల్ ప్లస్ హ్యావ్ ప్లస్ V3 or past participle. We have some examples here. Look at these examples. First one, I shall have. I shall have. V3 form of the typed. I shall have typed these letters by 5 p.m. We shall have finished. V3 form of the finished. We shall have finished this work by next week. He will have V3. He will have returned here by tomorrow morning. By next June, she will have written. She will have written the novel. They will have received the orders by next Monday. Okay. Next, future perfect continuous tense. Future perfect continuous tense is used to denote the action going on continuously for a period of time in future. ఫ్యూచర్లో ఒక సమయంలో స్టార్ట్ చేసి కొంతకాలం వరకు కంటిన్యూ చేస్తూ ఉంటాము అని తెలియజేయడానికి ఫ్యూచర్ పర్ఫెక్ట్ కంటిన్యూస్ టెన్స్ని యూజ్ చేస్తాం. ఇన్ ద ఫ్యూచర్ పర్ఫెక్ట్ కంటిన్యూస్ టెన్స్ వెర్బ్ ఫార్మ్ ఈస్ షెల్ ఆర్ విల్ ప్లస్ హ్యావ్ ప్లస్ బీన్ ప్లస్ V1 plus ing form. Here are some examples. I have to write correct form of the verb in the blanks. By the first one, by the time you come here tomorrow, I shall have been. Read plus ing. I shall have been reading my lessons for 2 hours. Next, by the time the train arrives, we shall have been waiting. We shall have been waiting for it for 1 hour. Before I go there tomorrow, they will have been make plus ing. They will have been making arrangements for 1 hour. Okay, children? Have you understood all tenses? Next, we will see here 12 tenses with verbs and verb forms and example sentences. Let us see the textual grammar. Page numbers 10 and 11. Read the following sentences from the story The Snake and the Mirror. We found we had little to carry. Some thief had removed most of my things. In the above 2 sentences, the first one is in the simple past. And the second one is in the past perfect tense. In the simple past, verb form is found, had. V2 form of the verb. In the past perfect tense, verb form had removed. Had plus V3 form removed. We have known about the simple past and for past perfect tense few minutes ago. Okay, children. Now, as we can see, the action which occurred earlier is expressed in the past perfect tense. Earlier action is expressed in the past perfect tense, whereas the action which occurred later is expressed in the సింపుల్ పాస్ట్ టెన్స్. మనము తెలుసుకున్నాం గతంలో జరిగిన రెండు పనులలో గతంలో రెండు పనులు జరిగినప్పుడు ముందుగా జరిగిన పనిని పాస్ట్ పర్ఫెక్ట్ టెన్స్లో తెలియజేయాలి. ఆ తర్వాత జరిగిన పనిని సింపుల్ పాస్ట్ టెన్స్లో తెలియజేయాలని చెప్పుకున్నాము. సింపుల్ పాస్ట్ టెన్స్లో వర్బ్ ఫామ్ V2 ఫామ్, పాస్ట్ పర్ఫెక్ట్ టెన్స్లో వర్బ్ ఫామ్ హ్యాడ్ ప్లస్ V3 ఫామ్. సబ్జెక్ట్ ఏదైనా హ్యాడ్, హెల్పింగ్ వర్బ్ హ్యాడ్ ప్లస్ V3 ఫామ్ వస్తుంది. హియర్ ఆర్ ఏ ఫ్యూ మోర్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్స్. Sujata had arrived at the station before the train came. In this sentence, earlier action is Sujata had arrived. So, it expressed in the past perfect tense. The train came. This is the which occurred later. So, it expressed in the simple past tense. Sujata had arrived at the station before the train came. Sujata ట్రైన్ రాకముందే స్టేషన్కి వచ్చింది. ముందు జరిగింది ఏది? సుజాత రావడం. సో దీనిని పాస్ట్ పర్ఫెక్ట్ టెన్స్లో తెలియజేయడం జరిగింది. తర్వాత ట్రైన్ వచ్చింది. జరిగిన దాన్ని సింపుల్ పాస్ట్ టెన్స్లో బిఫోర్ అనే లింకర్ని యూజ్ చేసి రాయడం జరిగింది. నెక్స్ట్, ద డాక్టర్ అరైవ్డ్ ఆఫ్టర్ ద పేషెంట్ హ్యాడ్ డైడ్. ద డాక్టర్ అరైవ్డ్ ఆఫ్టర్ ద పేషెంట్ హ్యాడ్ డైడ్. In this sentence, the doctor arrived. Doctor subject with arrived V2 form. After the patient had died with had plus V3 form. In the second sentence is the patient had died is in the past perfect tense. The doctor arrived is in the simple past tense. The doctor పేషెంట్ చనిపోయిన తర్వాత వచ్చాడు. ఇందులో ముందుగా జరిగిన యాక్షన్ పేషెంట్ చనిపోవడం, తర్వాత జరిగినది డాక్టర్ రావడం. కావున ముందుగా జరిగిన దాన్ని పాస్ట్ పర్ఫెక్ట్ టెన్స్లోను, తర్వాత జరిగిన దాన్ని సింపుల్ పాస్ట్ టెన్స్లోను ఆఫ్టర్ యూజ్ చేసి రాయడం జరిగింది. నెక్స్ట్, ఐ బాట్ ద టికెట్ యాజ్ సూన్ యాజ్ ఐ బోర్డెడ్ ద బస్. ఐ బాట్ ద టికెట్ యాజ్ సూన్ యాజ్ ఐ బోర్డెడ్ ద బస్. బస్సు ఎక్కగానే టికెట్ తీసుకున్నాను. ఎక్కగానే టికెట్ తీసుకున్నాను. When two actions occur nearly simultaneously in the past, both are expressed in the simple past tense. గతంలో రెండు పనులు ఒకేసారి జరిగితే, ముందుగా తర్వాత కాకుండా ఒకేసారి జరిగిన పనులను తెలియజేయడానికి రెండింటిని సింపుల్ పాస్ట్ టెన్స్ యూజ్ చేసి రాయాల్సి ఉంటుంది. Now combine the following pair of sentences using the past perfect and the simple past. Okay, use after, before or when as linkers. After, before, when ని లింకర్స్గా యూజ్ చేసి సెంటెన్సెస్ని కంబైన్ చేయాలి. ఫస్ట్ లెట్ us see first one. I brushed my teeth. I took my breakfast. Generally, we take our breakfast after completing our brushing. After completed our brushing. Yes or no? Yes. So the earlier action is we brushed our teeth. Later action is took my breakfast. So here after I had brushed my teeth, after brushed my teeth, బ్రష్ చేసుకున్న తర్వాత ఐ టుక్ మై బ్రేక్ఫాస్ట్. సేమ్ సెంటెన్స్ బిఫోర్ యూజ్ చేసి రాయడం. ఐ హ్యాడ్ బ్రష్డ్ మై టీత్ బిఫోర్ ఐ టుక్ మై బ్రేక్ఫాస్ట్. ఐ హ్యాడ్ బ్రష్డ్ మై టీత్ బిఫోర్ ఐ టుక్ మై బ్రేక్ఫాస్ట్. నేను బ్రష్ చేశాను ఎప్పుడు? బ్రేక్ఫాస్ట్ తీసుకోవడానికి ముందుగానే బ్రష్ చేశాను. రెండు బోత్ ఆర్ సేమ్ బట్ లింకర్స్ ఆర్ డిఫరెంట్. ఓకే చిల్డ్రన్, you have to write these all sentences using before and after. This is the homework for you in this week homework for this week. This is the homework to you for this week. Okay children, I hope you have understood all the topics. Thank you.